Okay.
I
This is
just
a
started
meeting.
our recording, so we can go ahead when we're ready.
Oh, I'm ready. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
This is a meeting of the Board of Zoning Adjustment. Tonight we have one item. So the order is that item goes first. On each item, staff will present first and the applicant second. Next, the public will be invited to comment, and then the board will discuss. We're going to review the voting rules. We do have a quorum. We may have more than that, but an affirmative vote of three or more board members shall result in passage of the motion. An applicant cannot be approved with less than three affirmative votes. If the first vote taken on a motion to approve or deny an application results in a tie, 2-2, the applicant shall be allowed a rehearing. A tie vote on any subsequent motion to approve or deny shall result in defeat of the motion and denial of the application. A vote of 2-1 or 1-2 on a motion shall, in all respects, be considered a tie. So the first thing that we're going to go through is BOZA case for 2026-0008.
And Thomas, did you have anything to go over real quick before we get into that?
That's right. He needs give
Thanks.
us
Yeah, I
our
would
rules.
normally share our advisory board protocol slides, which just govern some basic rules for public participation in our meetings.
I'm gonna have to update my notes. Thank you.
I'll just pull up our slideshow real quick. And first of all, we just want everyone to know that the city has engaged with community members to co-create a vision for productive, meaningful, and inclusive civic conversations, and that this vision supports physical and emotional safety for community members, staff, and board and commission members, as well as democracy for people of all ages, identities, lived experiences, and political perspectives. You can find more information about this vision in the community engagement process on our website. And the following are examples of rules of decorum found in the Boulder Revised Code and other guidelines that support this vision. These will be upheld during this meeting. All remarks and testimony shall be limited to matters related to city business. No participant shall make threats or use other forms of intimidation against any person. Obscenity, racial epithets, and other speech and behavior that disrupt or otherwise impede the ability to conduct the meeting are prohibited. And participants are required to identify themselves using the name they are commonly known by and must display their whole name before being allowed to speak online. When we call for public participation, if you'd like to speak, you can let us know that you would like to speak by clicking the raise hand icon on the bottom of the screen, and then we'll call on you. And you'll be given 3 minutes per speaker. If you're calling into the meeting, you can press *9 on your phone to raise your hand. And if you aren't seeing that raise hand icon on the bar on the bottom of your screen, you can click this reactions button. That'll expand into another menu, and then you can find the raise hand icon there. And that's all for me, so I'll pass it back to you, Chair. Thank you. It looks like you're on mute, Jill.
We're ready for BOZA 2026-0008. Robbie, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. And again, this is docket number BOZ 2026-00008. The address is 2529 9th Street, and this is a setback variance as part of a proposal for a renovation in addition to an existing non-standard 1912 duplex. The applicant is requesting a setback variance to the site adjacent to street or south yard setback for a principal building in the RMX1 zoning district. Because of the adjacent property to the west front yard also faces south on Dewey Street. This property has a secondary front or side equals front setback required for the south yard along the front yard landscape setback on. So they have both a front yard and along 9th Street and a front yard along Dewey. And this is where 25 feet is required. So the request tonight is a site adjacent to street south setback of approximately 14.6 feet from the subject addition of the home, where 25 feet is required and approximately 1.2 feet exists today from the existing home. Section of the land use to be modified, section 971, Boulder Revised Code 1981. And up on the screen, I have what I just tried to explain. Not greatly, but this property does have two front yards. The yard to the east is the true front yard, and that is along 9th Street or right of the property. And then we also have a secondary front yard, or a side equals front yard, which is the south yard along Dewey Avenue. And then the rear yard is the west yard, or to the left of the property. And then we have an interior side yard, which is the north yard on the property. And we did not receive any correspondences from any neighbors or members of the public at this time. So I do not have something that is usually on the presentation on this screen today. So let me get into a little bit of the zoning history of the property. Again, the lot is zoned RMX1. The lot size is around 6,580 square feet, which is above the 6,000 square foot minimum allowance for typical RMX1 zoning district. And the history, the home was built and permitted circa 1912. It is not landmarked nor in historic district. And then the house is currently used as a duplex. It is a legally recognized duplex by the city and is considered legal non-standard due to the existing setbacks of the house that were established 115 years ago. And then recent code changes as recently as 2025 to the intensity standards, that's BRC 983, actually brought this property into conformity due to the new density allowances. And that being the minimum lot area per dwelling unit, they were changed. So now this property is no longer non-conforming due to density. It is just non-standard due to setbacks. And then the existing and proposed floor area, including the subject addition, the proposed floor area is around 2,046 square feet, where 3,733 would be the maximum allowance for this property. And when it comes to building coverage, the proposed building coverage is at approximately 1,188 square feet, including the addition. And the maximum building coverage for this property is around 2,366 square feet. So both floor area, FAR, and building coverage are well under the maximum allowances for this property for any addition. And then solar access, the bulk side yard bulk plane, side yard wall articulation, and height. No issues have been presented at this time, but we will verify at building permit, which pending tonight, this will ultimately need to go to make sure that all of those are in compliance with today's standards. The only variance tonight is a setback variance to be considered. And this just gives you an idea. This is a corner view of the house, the upper right image. And then we also have the survey, which gives a good visual of the existing footprint of the house. And as detailed within the applicant's written statement and criteria response, this property or this house is located at the southeast of the property, and it has been in this condition for quite some time. The house itself was established prior to many of the setback requirements that are in place or that we see today. And the request tonight is, again, a setback variance. That's a side equals front or south setback variance. I have there circled in green the location of that from the addition of the existing house, and the setback specifically is for approximately 14.8 feet from the addition, again, where 25 feet is required and where approximately 1.2 feet exists today from the existing home. And this gives you an idea of some of the deconstruction plans. This is a 3-level house. One unit is on the, I believe, the upper 2 floors, and one unit is on the very lower floor. The applicant went into some detail as to why this is being brought forward and why the renovations and additions are needed, and in some cases necessary for the continued habitation of both of the dwelling units in the overall home. This gives you an idea of what is going to be taken down. And then the next screen just gives you an idea of the proposed floor plans, again, for all 3 levels. We've got the lower level, the main level, and then we've got the upper level. And then we also have some elevation drawings of all 4 elevations. The west elevation, which is the image that I'm circling right now, that is the rear yard. And then we've also got the south elevation. This is along Dewey Avenue. And then we've also got this elevation, which is the 9th Street elevation or the east elevation. So as responded to within the variance review criteria in the written statement, the applicants, staff also utilized criterion H1 and H5 when determining whether or not we could support the request. And we are in support of this and recommending approval as it has been presented. We do feel that the reasoning for the renovations and the modifications to bring the home kind of into current code standards is understandable, and in some cases necessary. We feel that it's a modest addition to the home and that it complies with criterion H1, unusual physical circumstances of the property. The property itself isn't necessarily small, but the historic home from 1912 was just happened to be placed at the southeast corner of the property. So any work to the house would likely require some sort of a variance. And the addition that the applicant is proposing doesn't seem to be too extreme in terms of the future habitation of both of the dwelling units in the duplex. And we also realize that these circumstances do not necessarily exist throughout the neighborhood, but especially not throughout the zoning district. And RMX1, even though it is intended for denser development, it's not common that we see a house with a setback of about 1 foot from the property line. And then also, we feel that the hardship itself, the location of the home, was not brought on by the current owners of the house. And then skip into criterion H5, A through D. We don't feel that it would necessarily negatively impact the character of the neighborhood. The majority of the addition will be done downhill and behind the house from the streets. And we also did not hear from any neighbors that this would substantially or permanently impair reasonable use and enjoyment of their properties. And then also the solar access, it is solar access area 2. And a solar access diagram was provided within the application materials. And this, of course, will be verified at time of building permit to make sure there's no solar access issues with this. So all that being said, staff is recommending support and approval of BOZ 26-00008 as it has been presented. And I will leave things there for now. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Robbie. Does anyone have questions for staff? Katie?
I just had one question. Could you just review what you said in the beginning about the recent changes to code on the density requirements? That was
So,
that was
of
new.
course. So before we had density, which is you have to have so much lot size for any dwelling unit. So if you have 2 dwelling units, you have to meet that twice. RMX1 used to be 6,000 square feet of lot area per dwelling unit. So if you had a duplex, you would have to have around 12,000 square feet of lot area. But with the recent changes, we reduced that to allow denser development. And now I believe it is 2,500 per dwelling unit. So this property being over 6,000 square feet with a requirement of 5,000 square feet for 2 dwelling units complies with that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Anybody else? I don't have any questions. Okay, do we have an applicant that's going to make a presentation here?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
It's
let me just
Thank you.
both promoted access. Robbie, do you know who will be sharing the presentation?
I do not know, but we have both Alex and Nick here, and I'll let them kind of determine what they want to do next.
I managed to get Alex promoted. Nick, if you would like to be promoted as well, you'll need to accept the panelist invitation in Zoom.
Hey guys, can you hear me? All right, yeah, so I'm Alex. I'm the architect and I'm with Mountain Design Build. I've also got Nick Welch behind me. I will be the one going through the presentation. Robbie did a great job of explaining kind of why we're seeking a setback variance, and all I'm really going to be doing at this point is kind of showing you the existing conditions of the current bathrooms on both that lower level unit and then the main level bathroom for the upper unit. Both of them are pretty much non-conforming due to clearances for each of the plumbing fixtures. And so I'm just going to go through the existing floor plan and then show you what we're proposing and why we're seeking that variance. So I'm just going to share my screen and hopefully see. Yeah, can you guys see the floor plans up right now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna back up. Let's see if I can move this guy. All right, so these lower pictures down here kind of give you an idea of the size of the bathrooms. I'll go through the floor plans just so you can really see it, but the pictures do it justice. This is the lower level unit, and we've got a really tight bathroom with the toilet, an adjacent sink, and there's a shower behind me. And then on the main floor for the upper unit, there's a tub right here with a sink and then a toilet. And going into the space, there's actually a little laundry area, which really blocks the circulation as well. So I'm just gonna back up to the existing floor plan. And I have outlined some of the clearances in the proposed floor plans when I get to that. But here's a zoomed in view of that lower level unit. Again, I'll go through the clearances on the next page just so you have an idea of scale. But that's what we're looking at. And I've also, and on each of these plans, I've dashed where the existing setback currently is. So you can see how much of the building is actually within the setback and how difficult it is to add on to that. Here's the upper or the main level for the upper unit that I was talking about. This is that stackable washer dryer. And this is the tub with the sink and the bathroom right behind it. And we're going to be proposing just adding on to this side right here. And you can see that anything we add on would be within the existing setback as it's defined. All right. So as I mentioned, we're going to be adding on to that western side of the property. So that would be more facing the rear lot. You would also see an extension coming off of the side yard lot off of 9th Street. But here we're just proposing a simple water closet and sink and shower with laundry facilities down on that lower unit. So it does come out a little bit past that existing setback. And then on the main level, we're just trying, because the laundry was placed in the entry, we're trying to just get that laundry out of the way, make the entry more usable, and then extend outwards to the west to get a functioning bathroom in here. And I think I had, oh, here are the clearances. Sorry, I skipped over this. This was just showing the clearances and how they overlap each other for those existing fixtures. So that's kind of the hardship that we're up against. Sorry for jumping around.
Okay.
And so again, like Robbie said, we're just seeking a setback so that this front, that wall facing 9th Street is approximately 14'6" away from the side lot, as opposed to 25 feet. And we're really seeking the minimum area that we need to in order to build a fully functioning and conforming bathroom to make things more usable and to keep the fixtures in relatively the same location. We didn't feel it was feasible to relocate the bathrooms in either case in order to keep the plumbing fixtures relatively in the same location. And as Robbie mentioned, we're not above the height limit, although that will be verified during the building permit review. Same with the solar shadow. So these are the elevations again that Robbie had on the screen. And I just kind of dashed the area of the old structure that we're proposing to demolish and showing how far out the current structure would come out. And we're really just trying to maintain the character of the existing home. Even though it is not listed as historic, it's still an older building and we want to pay respect to that. So we're really just trying to add on and make this feel like a seamless addition to the property. And that's pretty much all I have.
Thank you. Both of you guys are set?
Yep, nothing else from me. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any citizen comment before we go to discussion? Anybody here, Thomas?
Thank you, Jill. Yeah, this would be the opportunity for a public hearing. However, we do not have any attendees that are not on screen here with us in the Zoom meeting. So
And
leave
I'm
that
jumping
close
to.
out.
Can I
Thank
ask
you. Ahead. I
the
have,
proposal a question?
hold on 1 second. Just let me get back in order. The next thing is whether anybody from the board has questions of the applicant. Who was just talking though?
Sorry, that was me. I thought that was the next step was the questions to the applicant.
That's right. I didn't say it. That's all. You're good, Craig. Go.
Yeah, so I had one question. You showed that wall with the mudroom, and I think you said it was 14.8 feet away setback. What's
Mhm.
the existing wall setback right now? Like, what's that wall? It looks like you're bringing that in by another bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, let's see. So that 14'8", which we're looking at in the site plan right now, is still the same location as the existing bump out. We're just moving it further out to the west. So basically, because we are doing work within that setback, the existing setback technically still does remain the same for what's there currently, but we still need to request that in order to do any work.
I see. Okay, so you're extending that wall out. Okay, that answers my
Yeah.
question. You're keeping it at the same setback as it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. Does anyone else have questions of the applicant? We've already reviewed the fact that there are no there's no public comment right now. So that would close our public hearing and allow us as a board to discuss the matter. So let's move on to our board discussion. Robbie, can you change what's happening on the screen right now unless we need it? We might need it though, I guess.
Thomas, I think the applicant is still sharing, so I think Thomas can end that. Sorry, Nick and Alex.
If we need it, we'll call it back up.
Yeah, I'll stop it and I
There
can
we
pull it
go.
back up if we need to.
Thank you. I mean, if we need it, we'll get it back, but it's just harder to see everybody. Okay. You're not required to comment, but if you have something to say, let me know. Raise hand, anything. Katie, nothing? Okay. Drew?
I mean, I believe it meets all the criteria. It's a house in an awkward location, and it's a very reasonable request. They're building mostly within the allowed setbacks. And the one piece that's not is, very modest. And so I would be in favor.
Thank you. Craig?
Yeah, I agree with staff and Drew. I think the maintaining that, kind of 14.8 foot setback that exists there today, for what they need to extend, I think that's about as minimal as they can do apart from fully moving a bathroom. And I recognize fully moving plumbing is challenging. So
Thank you. Yeah, and I agree. I think this was a very modest request to accomplish a very worthwhile goal because those bathrooms look really tough. So, thank you. So it sounds like, I assume Katie, you're okay too,
Yeah.
because you're,
Yeah.
yeah. So at this point, may I have a motion, please, to approve? Any one of you?
I'll
motion
make-
to approve.
Okay, so do you need it stated further than that, Deshauna? Usually BOZ.
It would be
Yeah.
ideal if we could have a more formal motion just saying, I move to approve this application, et cetera.
Yeah. Okay. Motion to approve BOZ 2026-008 on grounds of H1, A through D, and H5,
Have a
A through D.
second. Thank you, Craig. May I have a second?
Second,
All those in favor, I'll start with Katie.
aye.
Drew,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
myself, aye. BOZ 2026-00008 has been passed as submitted. Thank you guys very much for your time. Happy building.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Where we are right now is, we have minutes to approve. Thankfully, it's not a super long meeting for my birthday. And I gotta tell you, look at Drew. What is he doing? Sitting in a boat. I'm so jealous. So I think we reviewed minutes last meeting to one of those minutes, but yeah, there we go. That's where I need to be. I gotta make that happen. So we have, let me just pull that up here real quick. So minutes from two meetings that we need to approve, correct, Deshauna?
Correct. June 9th and July 14th.
Right, has everybody reviewed those minutes? And was everybody present? Yeah, Craig.
Yeah, I had one question on the June 9th minutes. I think it says that we approved the January minutes in the June minutes, but I think we approved the May minutes in June.
If that's the case, it'll have to be corrected and we'll have to approve it next time because we can't approve it.
You
Good
can approve it
question.
as amended or as edited.
We can.
And I can make that correction for the archive.
Is that Thomas talking?
Yes, this is
Okay,
Thomas.
thank you, Thomas. All right, so with the correction as duly noted, and thank you for your sharp eye. The rest of us maybe glanced over that. Thank you. So do we need to do them separately? Deshauna?
I would say since we're dealing with amended approval minutes for June, the two motions would be ideal to separate that for clarity.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the
Yeah.
June minutes?
Motion to approve the June minutes amended as the meeting minutes that were approved in June were actually the May minutes.
Thank you. Second, please.
All right, second.
Thank you, Drew. All those in favor, Katie,
Aye.
Drew,
Aye.
Craig, and I. Okay, those minutes from May are approved. And now we have the July 14th minutes. Which I also glanced at and I thought they were correct. So if anyone else doesn't have any concern, we again need a motion to approve these minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thanks,
the
Katie.
July minutes.
Okay, thank you, Drew. Go ahead. Did you get
I
that?
make a motion. Yeah. I make a motion to approve the July minutes.
Second?
I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor, Katie,
Aye.
Drew,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
and myself, aye. By the way, for those of you that don't know, the reason we say aye individually is because we have to record everybody's voice. So If we're in a group meeting, we could just say aye, but because we're in Zoom, we have to say it individually. What have you got for us? Any other matters from the board? Okay, any matters?
The only matter for me is a reminder to this board that I will miss the next meeting.
Thank you for the reminder, Craig. Matters from the city attorney.
Nothing from the city attorney's office, thank you.
Thank you. And finally, from staff.
And just run one real quick thing. The application deadline for the September 8th BOZA meeting was Monday, and it looks like we have 2 items moving forward. So it's a little earlier in the month than usual, but thank you, Craig, for reminding us that you will be absent, but hopefully everybody else can attend because looks like we have 2 items. So hopefully I will see the rest of you there.
That's not on Labor Day weekend, right? I know it's a weird Labor Day this year.
No, let me verify that real quick while
I
This is the
believe it's the
Tuesday
day
following.
after.
It is the
Yeah,
day.
oh, it is.
Labor
Yep.
Day.
Thank you, Deshauna.
Is that going to pose a problem for anyone besides Craig? You might want to find out from Sean to be sure. Because people do travel that weekend.
We will. Thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome. It's very late this year. Usually not that late. Well, if we're finished, we have in record time completed our meeting and all good. Thank you.
Thank you,
everybody-
everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest
Have
of
a
your
great night.
birthday, Jill.
Oh,
Happy
thank you so
birthday.
much. Appreciate it. And the meeting is closed. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.